Hi, I'm Sarah Burns again, and I want to introduce Manuel to you. Manuel participated in a workshop of mine back in May. I consider Manuel a case study for me because Manuel showed up to the class and then proceeded to work with me for several months afterwards. And his insight into his issues and his feedback on the workshop really helped me to develop this 90-day program. I came to understand that in the workshop I did in May, there was too much information all at once to absorb. And I also realized that having the interaction on an ongoing basis helped to keep Manuel on track, as well as a few other of my clients that attended that workshop. Manuel, actually, I commend him for coming here today because I did ask a few other participants of that workshop to show. And like many men, there were issues around feeling embarrassed about this issue with ED. But the truth is, this is a very common problem. And I appreciate Manuel showing up because I think he's going to be able to help a lot of you out there by sharing his story. And one of the things I wanted to share also about Manuel that makes him even more special to me is that when he called me for my workshop, I actually did not feel that I was going to be able to offer Manuel much because of Manuel's history with surgery. But I'm going to let Manuel share his story with you, as well as how he got to me and how he experienced the program when we began to work on an ongoing basis. So Manuel, thank you for being here, and thank you for being willing to share your story. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. You helped me very much, so this is the least I can do.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So yes, my name is Manuel Gonzalez. I'm 49, and the reason I came over here is because last year I was diagnosed with cancer in prostate, and last year too I was able to set everything up for my surgery. I had my prostate removed, and well, sure enough, after that, my sexual performance just suffered a lot. It used to be very well. I mean, I never had any problems. And after the surgery, yes, there was no sexual function at all.
Did you have other side effects along with that as well after your surgery?
Well, that I can think of is just my self-esteem. Everything went down. I was just feeling frustrated. I was very down, and yes, that really puts a toll on your life. I mean, it's just really bad.
Right. When you went through the surgery, what did the doctor say? What happened after the surgery? Did he feel that impotency might become an issue for you?
Well, yeah, they explained to me very well that it was going to change. It might be some people recover pretty quickly, but it's never 100%. Like in my case, after the surgery, like 3 weeks after the surgery, I experienced an erection, and that made me really happy. I talked to the doctor about it. He got really happy, but then I noticed something in his face that was more like a problem. And when I asked him about it, he said, he told me that normally the people that get an erection in a short time as I did is the people that are going to be having problems, and that was exactly my case.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
So after that, sure enough, I couldn't get an erection. I was trying. I was going through some therapy that they helped me with, and they even
what therapies were you going through?
No, they were just showing me how to bring blood a little bit, like help the blood flow to my penis, and also they prescribed me some not Viagra, but the other one, some erection pills, ED pills.
Cialis or Levitra?
Levitra, that's the one I was taking. But with that, I was getting all kinds of sensations like hot flashes, headaches, all kinds of things. It just wasn't good enough, and I wasn't even getting the erection. So that's why I was, started to look for something else, something different, something that might help.
Mm-hmm. And how long after the surgery was it before you found my workshop?
I believe it was around 5 months after the surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and I found out about you through my wife, because she comes for acupuncture over here, and her doctor, she's the one that gave her your name, your card, and I got your number. That's when I called you and set up the appointment.
Okay, and do you recall when we talked, I said, I may not be able to help you?
Yes, I remember that. You said that, but I mean, what other option did I have?
Right.
So I was hoping that with your help, with your program and your workshop, I was going to be able to learn to meditate, concentrate, or at the very least, I wanted to be patient and not be so down.
Okay, but you did have some results with the program, didn't
Oh yeah,
you?
I sure did.
And in that first day, part of the program that is involved here is I do a private activation of Kundalini energy. And in the workshop in May, everybody actually went through that within a matter of, it took what, 3 minutes to go through that?
For each one of us.
Yes. And each of you commented that you experienced something or feeling down in the penis area again. So, and even you did, right?
That's right.
And were you kind of surprised by that, or?
Oh, I was very surprised, because I didn't think I was gonna feel anything. I was, like I said, my expectation was to come over here and learn how to meditate or concentrate, something very minimal and basic. But all of a sudden, after the Kundalini, I felt something in my head, through my whole body, my hands, and my penis. So that was shocking to me.
Yes. And that's something that very rarely gets talked about in our culture, about Kundalini activation, but because that energy is located at the very near the penis area, that's a very common occurrence to start having feeling again in the penis area. One of the things I've asked you from time to time when you come in is on a scale of 1 to 10, where you think you are now. And starting with 1 when you came into the door of the workshop, and 10 being completely recovered, where do you feel you are right now on that scale from 1 to 10?
Right now, like you said, I'm very sure about this. I'm at least 75, I'm going to say 80, but at least 75% recovered.
Okay.
And I didn't expect that at all. I really wasn't expecting this much recovery.
And do you feel that came from the techniques that I taught you?
Definitely.
And the information I gave?
Definitely. It helped very much.
Okay.
All the work we did, I mean, it really helped me when I was seeing you, because when I was doing the work by myself, I mean, I thought I was doing everything right, and then when I saw you, you told me how to position my hands in the right places, and then you helped me visualize everything that would work according to these parts of my body, and getting rid of the bad things, connecting things, and making everything work again. So that was incredible. I couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, thank you.
By myself, it was different. With your help, it was like doing a second surgery. It was great.
Thank you. And at one point, you had been coming in for a few months to see me, and working through the information I'd already given in that really gave you the confidence that you could actually do self-care for yourself.
That is right.
One of the things that surprised me when I was working with you was a few months into our work, you commented about your wife and what was going on with her. Do you feel comfortable sharing her experience that she's been going through recently?
Well, as far as her having also some issues, It's just, yeah, I'm comfortable. If this is what your question
Yeah.
is, I'm not sure. But yeah, she was also having some issues. We didn't know what her sexuality or anything, but it's just medical issues that she's been, I don't know, she was getting so many things that I used to get. Like, I got hernia, she ended up with a hernia. I got back problems, she was suffering from her back, and all of a sudden I got my prostate cancer, and she was having also issues with her uterus and things like that. And that's when you asked me to bring her and talk to you so that you can kind of see what was going on.
Right. And the reason is, this is something that is never looked at in Western medicine, is the fact that when there's a couple and they're so closely connected to one another, the energy between the two of you actually immerses with one another. So it's very natural to pick up things going on with that person, and even it manifesting as the same physical problems sometimes. And looking at you and your wife, I did recognize that you guys were so connected and you've been together for so long that it didn't really surprise me as an energy healer to see that these things were going on between you. So part of the work that we actually did was doing the work with your wife as well, and she's still recovering from her surgery, I understand, at this point. So there are a few things that probably will help her down the road as well.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Manuel's not done with this program. We haven't finished, even though he's at 80%. It took, we say that this program takes typically 90 days, but what makes Manuel's history going a little bit longer, we are in November now, is that Manuel did have prostate surgery. And again, I shared that with prostate surgery, there's always the potential of nerve damage, which is usually why men suffer from impotency. So I did encourage Manuel to seek out other professionals in alternative healing, because I did feel that they may have a stronger impact for him. But Manuel decided not to, because...
Well, the reason I decided not to is because I really wanted to see, and I just show you, but I wanted to know, be sure, certain that your work was working. It was something new to me since the beginning. I did started feeling all the things that you were saying. I noticed the work that we did was giving me progress, even though the doctors told me that I was going to probably have no sexual function at all. They even talked to me about pumps, vacuum pumps, and then the insertion of the pump, surgical insertion, so that I can make my erection that way. So that was going to be my case, and I think that was really going to be my case. But thanks to trying this with you and not trying anything else, I cannot contribute this progress to anything else but what we did.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for coming here today and
my
sharing
pleasure.
your story. I really appreciate it. And I know that you're going to get better, because part of the work is having the commitment to getting better. And I know that you took the initiative to come in as well to see me and to follow through with the work, which is a big part of why you progressed up to the part that you have. And also, when you find that you are completely plateaued, there are still some other alternatives in alternative healing that I think can get you to the 100% level.
Yeah, and I'm almost there. I feel I'm almost there.
Yes. And the other part of that that I wanted to share in closing is that because Manuel chose not to go those other routes, he's actually learned how to do self-healing.
That's right.
And he knows that he can take care of many of his health problems without seeking out other professionals to do the work for him.
That is right.
Okay.
like my headaches. I don't take any pill for headaches anymore. I used to always have headaches, and I hardly get them anymore.
And you had other things that you said also besides the impotency that you noticed also that you just overall just felt better.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, my I used to be really down. My self-esteem was on the floor. I almost didn't want to go out, social life and all that. I don't know why, but everything was just not for me anymore. But since everything that you did for me and what I continue to do is help me get rid of everything else. So I'm here not just to help you, but I want to help others, and I want everybody to believe that what you did to me really works. But it takes time. I mean, for me, it probably took longer because, as you said, I had prostate cancer. My prostate was removed, and the doctor said, he told me I was probably going to have no more sexual activity as I did before. And we proved them wrong. We
proved them wrong. All right. Thank you, Manuel. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Again, I'm Sarah Burns. I want to thank you again for hearing this webinar. I hope you learned some things today from it, and I hope that you join us again in the future and consider participating in this 90-day program.